Hello, fourth graders. Not today, but eventually you will be creating your own Google Slides presentations about some aspect of life for the early settlers. You've been writing excellent summaries, and so today we're going to look at how someone can take a summary and put it into a Google Slides presentation. I'm going to share with you a presentation about the section you already read, Two Worlds Meet. And while I do, I want you to be really looking for some aspects of this presentation that make it successful. So we already know you had the checklist for writing successful summaries. Well, after today, we'll have a checklist for making a successful Google Slides presentation, but I need your help to come up with that. So here it goes. This is my slideshow on Two Worlds Meet. I'm going to show you the information, but also be pointing out some things about the format. Okay. In 1492, Christopher Columbus came from Spain to North America. Europeans wanted to come to this new world for several reasons: land, wealth, and to bring their Christian religion to the Native Americans. And I have a little picture with a caption over here. Let me see. Oh, we can't see it all because of my screen and video embedded, but I described a bit what the caption was. So already you might be noticing I have a title, I have a visual. I tried to bullet point out some important information. And I'm still doing the keys to successful summaries, that I'm repeating the information in my own words and making sure to only include what's really important. Okay, let's look ahead. Go ahead and read over this slide to yourself. And when you've had a few moments, I'm going to talk a bit about how I structured it. Okay, so you may have noticed this is in a T chart, we call it, because I could almost draw like a little T in between these two columns. So the big idea was, what effects did the Europeans have on the Native Americans? But then I organized the information into some benefits and some problems in a similar way to how the book did it. But since this is a slide, I tried to just really clearly lay it out in this T chart. And here's another T-chart, but this time I put a big idea up at the top. So France enters the New World. In the 1600s, the French claimed a large amount of land in and around the land we now call Illinois. They did not want England to become too powerful. They sent explorers. So that was kind of the big idea. But then instead of continuing with bullets about Joliet and Marquette, I decided to use another T chart to organize my information so that you could see it really clearly. And as I was doing this, I noticed that there was too much information to fit on one slide about how Joliet and Marquette interacted with the Native Americans. So I made one more slide, still on the topic of Joliet and Marquette, but here it's really zooming in on their relationship with Native Americans. Native Americans served as their guides along the way. They discovered that the Mississippi didn't flow into the Pacific Ocean, but rather the Gulf of Mexico and Spanish territory. That wrapped up everything. And I put a picture here. Notice in this picture I didn't put a caption. Why do you think this one didn't need a caption? Well, the slide very directly talked about what this picture is showing: Native Americans serving as guides to Joliet and Marquette. So last thing, you're also going to be asked to notice the font and the size. So as I was presenting, hopefully you noticed there wasn't too much information on the slides, and therefore it could be a larger size font. I actually had to work on that quite a bit. There were times when I wanted to type more, but I realized the font was going to get really small, and that's not good for an audience. So be mindful of that too as you analyze what went into this successful presentation. And you can look forward in the weeks ahead to practicing together on presentations as we learn more about these early settlers, as well as eventually creating your own. But not yet, not today. So for now, thanks for giving some feedback about my presentation. Enjoy.